Advanced level business questions and answers, 3.9 strategic methods, how to pursue strategies. How can you measure the size of a business? By profit, by market share, maybe the number of stores or factories, sales revenue, market capitalisation, that is the number of shares times their share price, whether it's a domestic company or global, the number of employees as used by the UK government. So out of 5.9 million businesses in the UK, 5.82 million were small, 0 to 49 employees, 35,600 were medium-sized, 50 to 249 employees, 7,700 were large, that's more than 250 employees. Small and medium-sized enterprises, SME, account for 99% of all businesses, but only 52% of total sales. This implies that some of the large companies are very large indeed. Differentiate between organic growth and external growth. Organic growth is when a business's sales increase over time naturally by selling more products or services. External growth is by acquisition, basically buying other companies. Explain the diagram. This is all about integration. Forward vertical integration is when a manufacturer or wholesaler buys out a potential customer, B2B, moving towards the final consumer. So in this instance, our manufacturing bakery has bought a retail bakery. Backward vertical integration is when a business takes over a supplier. So in this instance, our manufacturing bakery would purchase a flour mill. Conglomerate integration is the acquisition of unrelated businesses in a process called diversification. In this instance, it could be that our manufacturing bakery has gone out and bought a chain of pubs. Horizontal integration is when a business takes over a competitor at the same stage of production. So here, our manufacturing bakery would simply buy another manufacturing bakery. Differentiate between a merger and a takeover. So a merger is an agreement where two or more businesses join together in a new unified organisation. However, a takeover is where a business buys at least 51% of another business's shares and takes control. Takeovers may be hostile, that is unwanted by the victim, or be welcomed by the shareholders if a good price for the shares can be obtained. What is a franchise? So a franchise is where a franchisor grants the rights to a franchisee to trade under its name in return for a fee and royalties. For example, Mr. Patel, the franchisee, acquires a franchise from McDonald's, the franchisor, for an upfront fee and a percentage of future profits. Franchises are the most successful form of business startup. Why are they so popular? From the franchisor's point of view, a franchise model can lead to rapid growth. It is low risk as it is the franchisee that is risking capital. Franchisees will also be highly motivated as they are risking their own money. From the franchisee's perspective, 20% of ordinary startups fail in the first year and around 60% will go bust within their first 3 years. The franchise failure rate is much less because the franchisee is buying into an existing brand. The supply chain is already developed and experience and advice is readily available from the franchisor who knows what works and what doesn't. Explain the diagram. As a firm grows and output increases, the firm experiences increasing returns to scale as economies of scale come into play and unit cost will decrease. The rate of decrease will plateau and be constant for a while. However, diseconomies will gradually begin to increase unit costs. Explain the following economies of scale. Managerial. This is having lots of specialist managers, which makes the firm much more efficient. Technical. This is about using specialist machinery and technology to increase output. Purchasing. This is about discounts on bulk buying. Scope. Economies of scope are where businesses produce more than one product. As the products share the same fixed costs, it will reduce unit costs as the overheads can be spread out over many products. For example, Marks and Spencer's can pay rent on their store and use the space to sell both their normal range of food and clothing, but also their financial products. What are diseconomies of scale? Where a business gets so large that it experiences decreasing returns to scale, causing unit costs to increase. This phenomenon is generally attributable to problems relating to coordination, cooperation, and control. Explain the diagram. This diagram illustrates that the more experience a business obtains through the greater cumulative volume of production, the more likely they are to be able to produce at a lower unit cost. What is meant by synergy? When the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. In other words, 1 + 1 = 3. Where two companies join together, retain or increase market share, but are also able to decrease costs substantially, perhaps by having only one head office and removing duplicate stores and management. What is overtrading and why could it pose a problem? Overtrading causes cash flow problems and can cause businesses to fail. It relates to where businesses are too ambitious and take on large orders for which they do not have the necessary liquidity to fulfill. It causes a problem with purchasing raw materials and paying labour with insufficient working capital. In many cases, it may cause the firm to fail as banks become nervous and withdraw overdraft services. Explain the diagram. This is Griner's growth model and explains the growing pains of a business. It suggests that over time, on the x-axis, the business may grow in size on the y-axis, and in doing so, it goes through different phases, each of which ends in a crisis before moving on to the next phase. Define retrenchment. It is a strategic plan which seeks to reduce capacity by closing lines or stores in order to reduce costs. It normally occurs in a recession. How would retrenchment impact on the following functional areas? Departments. Operations, well, they would need to decrease capacity. They might sell assets and lay off production staff. The finance department will be concerned with reducing overheads, arranging emergency funding, closer scrutiny of liquidity by coordinating days payables and days receivables, and maybe even consider the non-payment of dividends. Human resources will be involved with reorganising, restructuring and dealing with redundancy packages. Marketing will be involved with reducing promotion expenditure or maybe even switching to low-priced economy products. Differentiate between product innovation and process innovation. Product is developing and improving the existing product that the company is making. The process is developing and improving the method by which the product is made. What benefits does innovation bring? Increased added value, increased quality, differentiates the product from others, developing a unique selling point, more products, greater opportunity for economies of scope, success increases brand value, leading to products becoming more price inelastic. A company may become innovative by using the following techniques. Explain each of them. Benchmarking. Benchmarking is establishing which product or service or process is the best in the market or industry, and then setting this as a minimum standard or target to achieve. Research and development. Product research involves designing new prototypes and testing them, hoping to develop new products. Market research is finding out what consumers want by asking them. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is encouraging employees to think like entrepreneurs and allowing decision-making to occur lower down the hierarchy. This encourages new ideas and risk-taking. What is Kaizen? Kaizen is the philosophy of constant improvement. The business becomes more proactive in improving their products and processes in a continuous loop. What is a patent? A patent is a form of legal protection on an invention or manufacturing process which gives the patent holder the sole right of producing and marketing the invention for a period of time. What is copyright? Copyright protects people's intellectual ideas, for example, software, books, and music. How could innovation impact on the functional areas? With operations, they would need to look into new methods of production and new products. The finance department, money will be required to develop new products. Human resources will be looking at recruiting imaginative personnel. Marketing, how the new product will fit in with the product portfolio and product life cycles. Does it need a cash cow to finance it? Why might a company wish to trade internationally? To increase sales by entering new markets, to benefit from different price elasticities in different countries. The company may be able to charge higher prices abroad. The company can extend product life cycles by finding new markets. Explain the following methods of entering international markets. Exporting. Exporting is where a business directly sells its products to foreign countries, either to other businesses or other consumers. Licensing. Licensing is when a business grants permission to another business to produce its products in return for a fee. Alliances. Alliances are where businesses support each other. For example, a business in England manufactures the product and another foreign company distributes it in its home country. Direct investment. Direct investment is buying or building factories or shops in foreign countries. Why might some markets be more attractive than others? Population size, GDP per capita, which is an indication of the wealth of the country. Whether they are in a trading bloc, that's a group of countries with no tariffs or barriers like the EU. Geographical location, the further away, the greater the transport costs, and the language spoken. What is a multinational? This is a business that has operational bases in more than one country, also known as a transnational or supranational business. Why do businesses go multinational? To access lower raw material prices, to take advantage of international differences in labour productivity and labour costs, to access local markets more easily. They may receive government support from the host countries through lower taxes, subsidies and provision of infrastructure. MNCs can exploit advantages over local firms through superior technology and better entrepreneurial and managerial skills. How big can multinationals get? Well, the top 10 MNCs by revenue are 1. Walmart, 2. State Grid, 3. Amazon, 4. China National Petroleum, 5. Sinopec, 6. Apple, 7. CVS, 8. United Health Group, 9. Toyota, and 10. Volkswagen. You can see from the list that they are mostly American or Chinese or European. By way of contrast, if we look at some countries' GDP, at Portugal of $250 billion, New Zealand $224 billion, and Greece $230 billion, and contrast that, for example, with Walmart, whose turnover is $524 billion. So you can see that some of these companies have revenues which exceed the GDP of some smaller countries. Differentiate between offshoring and reshoring. Offshoring is when a business moves operations away from its home country to take advantage of lower costs. Reshoring is when a company moves its operations back to the home country, possibly to improve its corporate social responsibility or for quality reasons. Why did Dyson move to Malaysia? Well, this was a very clever move. In doing so, they managed to decrease manufacturing and labour costs, but also moved closer to the huge main Chinese market. How could a focus on international trade impact on the functional areas? Human resources, recruiting people who are multilingual and a good cultural fit. With marketing, taking an international perspective to the 7 Ps, taking into account the culture of the target countries. Finance, purchasing different currencies and hedging to get the best currency rates. Operations, complying with different regulations and specifications of different countries. For example, right and left-hand drive cars. Explain the diagram. Well, this is Bartlett and Gosha's model of international strategies. There are 4 separate international strategies where there is a trade-off between needing to differentiate to satisfy local demand against being able to mass produce in order to decrease costs. Cost is normally on the y-axis and the need for responsiveness is on the x-axis. Define the following terms as they relate to digital technology. E-commerce. E-commerce is selling products online through a website or a trading platform like eBay. E-business. E-business is the integration of digital technology in all aspects of the business. Data mining. Data mining is the analysis of masses of digital information via powerful computers and software to reveal patterns and preferences of consumers. Enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning is a centralized management and database that integrates all functions of the business, enabling senior management to have a dashboard of information in real time. How might digital technology impact on the functional areas of the business? Well, for operations, CAD and CAM, computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacture. Finance. The finance function would use spreadsheets, break-even analysis, statistical packages, and accounting software that produces income statements and balance sheets. Human resources, personnel database, payroll, communications, and even interviews via Zoom. Marketing. Digital marketing is the marketing of products or services using digital technologies via the internet, social media, mobile phones, or any other digital medium. Social media marketing, SMM, is paying for adverts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search engine optimization is the process of making your site search engine friendly such that it appears at the top of the results following a search. Search engine marketing is paying for your website to appear in searches, and then email marketing is directly emailing individual potential customers. So that is responsible for most of the junk email that ends up in your inbox. Okay, that's the end of 3.9. So we have a 15-question multiple choice. So if you have this answer sheet in front of you, then great. If not, then as ever, just jot from 1 to 15 down and write the appropriate answer as you see fit. Question 1. Which of the following is not an economy of scale? A, cost reduction. B, technical. C, scope. D, managerial. Question 2. Which of the following is not a diseconomy of scale? A, lack of cooperation. B, poor coordination. C, poor communication. Or D, low concentration. Question 3. The experience curve shows A, unit costs will tend to decrease as total volume produced increases. B, variable costs increase over time. C, fixed costs reduce gradually. D, total costs fall as production increases. Question 4. Overtrading is A, exceeding working time regulations. B, where firms are underfunded and try and expand too quickly, leading to cash flow problems. C, selling abroad. Or D, another name for profit maximisation. Question 5. Which of these statements concerning franchising is incorrect? A, the franchisee benefits from an established brand. B, franchise operations have a much greater success rate. C, the franchisor uses the franchisee's money to help expand its business. And D, the franchisee will take a percentage of the franchisor's revenue. Question 6. In an attempt to become fully integrated, a bakery buys a retail bakery shop and a flour producer. This is an example of A, horizontal integration and conglomerate integration. B, backward vertical integration and forward vertical integration. C, conglomerate and forward vertical integration. Or D, horizontal and backward vertical integration. Question 7. Kaizen is A, hard HR. B, a soft HR. C, the philosophy of continuous improvement. D, the use of Japanese technology. Question 8, statement 1. Entrepreneurship is where employees are encouraged to behave as entrepreneurs. Statement 2, benchmarking is the name given to the process of applying for a trademark. Read statements 1 and 2 and then select the correct option. Question 9. Which of the following is unlikely to be a reason for a UK firm entering an international market? A, the UK has a very weak pound. B, the rapid growth of BRIC countries. C, the UK has a very strong pound. Or D, domestic sales are falling. Question 10. A UK business is currently exclusively concentrating on its domestic market. Which of the following would not be a method of expanding sales overseas? A, entering into alliances with foreign firms. B, using online trading platforms like Amazon. C, direct investment. Or D, market penetration. Question 11. A company relocates its call centre to India in order to reduce labour costs, but then, following complaints from customers and falling market share, it decides to bring it back to the UK. This is an example of A, reshoring and offshoring. B, offshoring and reshoring. C, importing and exporting. Or D, exporting and importing. Question 12, statement 1. According to Bartlett and Goschel, a global strategy is used when there is little need for differentiation, but a strong need for global integration. Statement 2, according to Bartlett and Goschel, a multi-domestic strategy will be used where there is a strong need for differentiation, but little need for global integration. Read statements 1 and 2 and then select the correct option. Question 13, according to Bartlett and Goschel, an international strategy will be used when there is a high need for differentiation and a low need for global integration. Statement 2, according to Bartlett and Goschel, a transnational strategy will be used when there is both a strong need for differentiation and a strong need for global integration. Read statements 1 and 2 and then select the correct option. Question 14. Enterprise resource planning uses experienced entrepreneurs to plan strategy, uses resources in a sustainable way, helps prepare contingency plans, uses sophisticated software that integrates the firm's management information system. Question 15. E-business refers to A, selling on Amazon and eBay. B, using digital technology throughout the business. C, developing a company website. Or D, selling online. Okay, that brings us to the end of the multiple choice section. Let's just run through the solutions. So 1D, 2A, 3A, 4B, 5D, 6B, 7C, 8B, 9C, 10D, 11B, 12A, 13C, 14D, and 15B. Okay, that's the end of 3.9. I'll see you next time when we look at 3.10, which is all about change. See you then.